What's up, everybody, and welcome to this very special 100th episode edition of Irregularly Scheduled Hostilities with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne Board, and with your host, the current, reigning, defending for right around 1 fucking year, Josh D. Board. Again, guys, welcome to this very special 100th episode of Irregularly Scheduled Hostilities. Can you believe it? We went 100 episodes. 100 episodes. That's a lot. That's a lot of episodes.
Yep. 2 years.
That is just under 2 years. Yep. Just 2 weeks shy of 2 years. Yep. And man, it is. It's a good feat, I think.
Mm-hmm. That means we've 100 episodes. That's 300 hours overall.
Yeah. Well, mine's cut in half. plus a lot of
hours of SmackDown.
Yeah, that's
600 million hours of pay-per-views.
Pretty much
all the time.
And then that's not even including the Twitter updates.
Minutes of AEW.
That's my part. Yeah, that's my part. Yeah.
That's a lot of wrestling, man. Mm-hmm. 100 episodes is a feat in any genre, in any podcast. Man, it's hard to do, to be weekly, because we're weekly. You know, a lot of podcasts have seasons. A lot of podcasts do like 5 episodes and then take a break, and then 5 episodes and take a break. Or, you can make armchair wrestling and do an episode sometimes. But to be consistently weekly solo with paranormal activities, and I can't do it. I still do it consistently, but not weekly. So to say, we definitely motivate each other, I think. And I think it's a very big feat to be a weekly show. And then to have to sit through Raw, man, that's
tough.
That's a reward in itself, exactly, I think. Like, we deserve some kind of medal, at least a bottle of whiskey for dealing with that shit. And but again, we also couldn't do it. Yeah, we're the main stars, but we couldn't do it without the viewers. You guys are obviously the bigger stars, and without you guys, we couldn't do it either. We do it for you. Well, that's not true. I do it for the whiskey, but I'm glad you guys watch, and I just play. But yeah, man, I do appreciate every single viewer that we have, whether it's just for a 5-minute, whether it's a 10-minute view, 15-minute view, the entire 90-minute view. I appreciate each and every single one of you, even if you disagree with my viewpoints.
Oh, and I didn't tell you this before we even came on. TJ saw us on Twitter and messaged me on Instagram and said, "Congrats on the 100th episode. Keep killing it."
I dig that. TJ Wilson, fan of the show. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that quite a bit.
I think it's funny that he follows our show specifically, but none of us.
Right. Yeah.
But it's funny. I don't even think he follows me on Instagram. He just responds. That's one thing that came from this show. It's still pretty badass that I can message a dude backstage at WrestleMania, like that match was badass, and he says, "Thanks, guy," and he's in Gorilla.
A former tag team champion.
Vince is probably 10 feet away. He's like,
every week.
Some dude who just quit his job in Ohio. Oh, thanks, bro. And like TJ's one of the good guys, and he's somebody that we met or got to know over this. Cy.
It really is cool as fuck. Absolutely.
Denison, Tyler.
Talk about those guys real quick.
We've had a lot of guests
overseas, man.
Bennett,
the UK. I've really formed a bond with people from the UK, which is insane. Yeah. And obviously, you brought up Bennett.
Archie, you don't post a link in the comments. We're here.
Off the press.
Archie too. We can't.
Oh, that's the article. Okay, never mind.
Yep, and absolutely talking about Bennett and Phillip. Those guys, they were with us early on. And their lives are busy. I know Bennett has, like as you say, 1,017 kids. Shit happens. And then Phillip, he's ripped. It's fucking crazy. Man, those guys are awesome. Yep. And so big shout out to both of those guys. We'll see them both again sometime.
They'll be back.
But yeah, talk about the other podcasters, though, talking about Benison and Cy. Like, those guys are from the UK. I never thought that.
We did a show with Armchair. We did one with the other two guys, Jack and Casey.
Sure.
Which are both much cooler than Benison.
Well, Benison's kind of that guy, and those guys are
Benison's only cool because his wife's like a celebrity now.
Pretty much.
That's true.
If it wasn't for his wife, I would stop talking to him.
He's the UK's version of Kanye West.
But I do really think it's cool to have a professional relationship consistently with people from the UK. I never thought that I'd have that kind of relationship with somebody from a different country.
I don't talk to people in different cities.
Sure,
like
absolutely.
I have a few friends in Middletown. You and Franklin, I think that's it. The rest I just see at the bar.
Sure.
And they're from, hey, I love everybody when you're drunk.
Well, hey, I'm drunk right now. But yeah, so it's absolutely true. It's a really cool thing.
It's nuts. Jason Dugan. He also sent his, we interviewed him.
Yeah, remember Rapid Fire.
Hey, just incredible. Didn't steal our money. I
mean, he did
we survived. We've interviewed some people.
He got paid and came on. He did both things.
We held him till the day before.
You did.
And that was just incredible. It was something. That's how that works.
Prayers to him.
I mean, whatever shit happens, but don't be that guy.
100 episodes. We'd initially brought this up somewhere in the 60s. Like, we were like, which week is it going to end up? Sure. We were like, sometime in June.
Trying to figure it out.
Yep. And I honestly did not think it'd make it. Like, you talk about paranormal, the boardroom kind of died, but Vince McMahon, my content, and the people I could have on my show. So Archie, thanks for that.
The content.
Poor
was our Vince McMahon. So I'm more like Triple H, but Archie's like, no, you can't do this and this and this. And it just because your hockey team can't keep a 3-1 lead, don't control my content.
I mean, they're in it for syrup.
At least they lost to Canadians, but you have one champion in the Buzz. And I mean, show some respect.
That's true.
But
before
we get too much further, there's another group of people that I've grown quite fond of, the Working Fans podcast.
Yeah,
Working Fans are awesome.
They are another great podcast that we have here. They are on Saturdays now,
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And producer Joe sent us a message today. And since I'm illiterate and I can't upload technology onto things, Chuck did. So
I got you covered.
Check out Joe.
Regularly scheduled Hostilities, 100 episodes. You had to call in the double champ to celebrate. And I just wanted to say a couple things. First off, jeez. Let's take off this pretense. You know it's producer Joe from the Working Fans podcast. And I got a funny cigarette, but I save for just an occasion. Chuck Winchester, Yvonne DeBoard, Josh DeBoard, you guys have done something with your podcast that not too many do, and you made it to 100 episodes. And you guys kill it every week, talking WWE, how much Josh loves Charlotte Flair. And I gotta say, personally, from the Working Fans podcast, you guys are an inspiration to us. We're inspired by you every time we watch, because we're at like 30 live episodes, and every time we watch your show, we think we're the filthiest wrestling podcast that we've heard in a while. And then we hear Josh say something and we're like, oh, wow, he definitely topped it. Chuck Winchester, cracking one for you, bud. And guys, just keep doing what you're doing out there. And we can't wait to see you hit 200. Can't wait to see you hit 300 episodes. As part of the Buzz family, we are such a fan.
Producer Joe, Working Fans Podcast, every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's to you, brother. All right.
So we normally do top fives. We're going to take that. We'll continue that next week. I'll think of something fun. But today we're going to start with RSH. So we'll kind of, there's some questions people asked me, so I just took them and put them on here and told them to watch. 2 of them listened. So I think one, which I think Archie cleverly already said. Archie, we have 2 viewers, by the way.
We lost Tim.
Hello, Archie. So Tim and Archie, thanks for, we had many more episodes, but they got deleted.
I also asked Marty Jannetty to join the show, so we'll see if he does.
He's too busy doing heroin to be here tonight.
Hey, man, he might. He responds a lot. He's a good guy. He does his thing.
All right, so we'll start with this. So how did RSH come about? Episode
Actually, do you remember we did 2 episodes before we did RSH? We did 2 pilot episodes, and we said, nah.
Well, our favorite show, The Office, this pilot episode was so shitty. We made sure we did 2 to where one of them was good. Because I watched the pilot of The Office, and I didn't watch it until like 2013.
First season's rough.
Yeah. It was a while.
Well, the first here's a fun fact for those of you who don't know. The pilot of The Office, the very first episode, is an exact replica of the very first episode of the British Office. Line for line, word for word, scene for scene is the exact same thing with the American actors. And then they went their own route after that. And they did that because the British versions said you can't do it. Or the US version was like, it can't not work. If people love your show, they'll love it here too. So they did the first episode scene for scene. And then after that, they did the thing. But fun fact, the first episode is the exact same on both versions. Anyway.
We would text. It would just be me and you about Raw, SmackDown, whatever, and bitch. And
you were doing AEW.
Yeah, so you were doing paranormal.
Nope, that wasn't it. I was doing.
We'd always talk about doing it. And I was doing Josh's junk. Right. So I was on YouTube, and you guys were doing your audio only at that point. So we were like, we got to do a wrestling podcast. And it's like everybody does it. Fuck it. I don't care what else everybody else does. So we started doing it.
Don't get drunk like
we started on your kitchen table.
Oh, yeah. Right
plastered.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible sounding microphones.
Wednesday nights.
No, like.
Well, no.
You know how we have banners here to keep us in line? Like we ain't writing shit down. I'd pull out my phone, read the results. We'd all have our phones out and read the results. Like, oh, on Raw, this happened. Do you want to talk about it? We'd argue for 10 minutes about do we want to talk about it when we could have been. It was just a complete shit show.
I used to write mine down.
Not the friend.
Shout out to my favorite shit show girl, Sarah. But that's how it came about. And I think everybody said, what's your favorite episode? It's the Goldberg one.
Oh,
that was hilarious.
We
Goldberg,
killed. Yvonne wasn't with us at that time. But like
not whole time.
Saudi Arabia day, and by then we had started planning them out. We were just like Vince. An hour and a half before Raw, we ripped the script up and we just shoot on Goldberg beating the Fiend. And that was 90 minutes of Goldberg. That's all we did was scream and holler. The episode was called Goldberg, and I think it was our 3rd highest audio
to this day.
To.
Yep.
Yeah. Number one, still the first one Danae was on. She started yelling at us. Yeah, she's like, be nicer to AEW. And we're like, no, fuck that.
Yeah. Well, I tried being nice to AEW, and then it just didn't work out. Hey, speaking of Sai, we brought you up earlier, Sai. Appreciate you, brother.
I'm Sal.
Maybe.
Like Practical Joker Sal.
I've been drinking. It could
Sai, be. Thank you. We thank you. Much appreciated.
Sai's been nice enough to be on our show a couple times.
Absolutely.
And he's had us on his show a couple times.
Yeah, he's one of the UK guys. Now, earlier, Sai, if you missed it 5 minutes ago, I was talking about how we actually, because of this show, we have interacted very good friends with guys from overseas. Yep. And that is, in my opinion, fascinating.
That's the thing. And like when I promoted this on Twitter, you see like the Angle podcast, Joe from the Angle podcast.
Sure.
He's been
just
on.
did Eric Bischoff.
They're promoting our shit. Like they're like, check these guys out. Like wrestling podcasts should help each other. Absolutely. We all have the same goal. Yep. Like talk about wrestling. Is our takes different? Sure.
Absolutely.
Should you yell at people? I probably shouldn't, but I do.
Most of the time.
But that's what makes wrestling fun. And that's what's fun about this episode, being 100th. It's kind of selfish, but it's just the way the calendar turned because In Your House is this week. We watched it last year. We watched it.
We live.
We live streamed it on a podcast, and it was amazing.
It was good.
This card is just as good, which we'll get to our predictions at the end. Archie, I mean, I don't expect you 5 people to copy this now, but go to www.whatthebuzz.com. Our article with all of our already up there if you want spoilers of what we're going to pick later. But why do we pick them? You have to stay here to hear that. We'll tell you that later.
Oh, yeah.
So our next RSH question was,
and they're hot.
We kind of already hit it. How's it feel? Exhausting. Did you all think it ever? My typing's fucked up. Did you all ever think it'd make it this far? No.
No, absolutely not.
The boardroom got 38 straight, and then it died because Archie killed my creative. And then,
no, man.
What else was there?
I mean, the Moose Point, my original podcast that I
there.
did, my wife and I, we got just over 100, but
you guys had a lot.
But we fizzled out before that. I kept it going, and we got us over 100, and that was with my wife. We just got to 100 with my live-in wife. So to think that we could get this far with people who I don't live with,
right,
it'd be harder, right? Theoretically,
Yeah.
but no, we did it, and we're still, and we're not ready to quit.
Yeah, like this.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
No.
somebody asked me, like, is this it? It's like, no, wrestling don't. It's the thing, like, wrestling doesn't die. It's like, if the boardroom continued, there's always something going on. Like,
Sure.
a main sport. No offense to Archie and Benison. It's hot, soccer, hockey, what the fuck, everybody. Like, basketball matters here. Football really matters here. Football's the sport in America.
Football is a sport.
Like, football.
But baseball's America's greatest pastime. No, it's fucking not. It's football.
It's America's
football.
Greatest nap time, because in the third inning of a fucking Reds game in the middle of May, nobody gives a fuck.
No,
Absolutely. Because baseball has 162 games. Okay.
That's all.
And they get like 9 months off in between. Wrestling gets no time off.
Nope,
Yes, you'll
Weekly.
see people impregnate their significant other and they have to take time off.
That
I love
happens.
Becky Lynch and Seth, but wrestling just keeps going.
Right.
Baby Charlotte, we got a wasp in here. That's fun.
That's wonderful.
Is it a wasp or one of those cicada things?
That's a
They
wasp.
liked you earlier.
Dude, the cicadas are the most clingiest thing since my ex-girlfriend, because they're everywhere. It's like I gotta get in my car. It's buzzing.
You
by
got
my
out
window.
of your car.
Dude, it hit me in the fucking head today,
Yeah.
right there. Everybody's like, "Look, you're breaking out." It's like, no,
That's a fucking cicada.
they don't even sting.
Dude, I was walking the other day and one landed in my hand. It wanted me to hold it as I was walking. Like, what the
What the
fuck?
heck's going on?
What is happening?
Archie just typed a fucking short story.
Oh boy.
You can't kill what you don't have. You gotta live your life. Is that from the fucking Fast and
You gotta
Furious?
live your life a quarter mile at a time. Well, 100% at a time. You guys are awesome, and the bus is proud to have you,
You better
guys
be
in our-
proud of
Yeah.
the show. Like, as 100, I think we deserve a spot on the main page.
Wait, whoa. We're not on the main page.
No, you have to go to like Taskbar and search wrestling, and then we're all the way at the bottom. 'cause
Who's
it's
on the main
alphabetical order.
page? It's not going to be Tyler.
No, it's Benison because it's Euro hockey. Shut up. Because it's Euro hockey season.
There'd be we see what's going
Nobody
on.
cares about hockey in America.
I think we just turned heel.
I think we did.
I mean, and honestly, let's be honest, nobody cares about hockey in Canada either.
No.
They're just
All right,
told
this
to.
one will be interesting.
Uh-oh.
Yvonne, we'll start with you because Yvonne started doing live around 50, if I'm not mistaken.
halfway.
50-ish.
50.
So congratulations to Yvonne for
Yeah.
her 37th episode, because can't do math.
Yep.
But
Well, she did episodes before that.
no,
too.
she was an occasional.
She special
I think
guested.
monthly.
Special guested.
I went from special
she's
guest to full time.
And we got a lot of hate for being sexist, so we put a female on here, like
Sexist
all
bullshit.
shows do. So
We got
know how
us
sexy we are.
us too.
what are some of you guys' future goals
Goals.
going forward for RSH? Outside of expansion, obviously that's the goal.
Bitches and hoes.
The one married
That's
person
it.
on the side would have that goal. I want to do this somewhere live. And I know you've talked about this too.
You guys have.
I want to do this at a location.
Hold on. Better quit bashing hockey. Y'all gonna get canceled.
Yeah, it's Anthony.
That's right.
That's my friend Anthony. He knows that Archie loves hockey.
Yeah, he
I
knows.
think Archie tried to talk hockey with him once. And
He lost interest.
The thing is, when it
Fuck
comes
hockey.
to hockey and getting canceled, the only thing that gets canceled, I got nothing. I lost it.
Now, do you remember when Golden State was up 3-1 on the Cavs?
Couldn't care
And
less.
the Cavs came back and won. That's just what happened to Archie's favorite team in hockey. So technically, the Canadians killed hockey, and which is funny because you think I'm specifically calling out the Canadians, but that's the name of the team that beat his team, was the Montreal Canadiens. So
It's like the Cincinnati Americans.
Hearing this, I'm glad I don't watch hockey or have no interest.
The only team I vote for when it comes to Canadian is Mrs. Butterworth, and I'm pretty sure she's the best hockey player of all of everybody.
Oh my god.
And-
Mrs. Butters.
in tribute to hockey, I quote Terrence and Phillip, blame Canada.
Oh my god.
But back to the goals. You know what, Josh? I'm 100% with you. My also goal, and I reached out to bars and they always tell me to fuck off. But my goal is also to on location, live, somewhere else with a live audience. So we got close once. We tasted it one time over at JD Legends, right
we did.
across the street.
I blame COVID.
That way.
You guys
Yeah,
did.
it was-
I think we were
It
going
was
to
during
commentate
COVID.
something there
you
for
guys
like
did.
The midget wrestling.
the midget wrestling,
Yeah, you
but
guys
then
were.
COVID got.
That's the thing. We really we
that's
took off
something-
during COVID. That's what happened. It's
I
crazy.
put in a good word for you. I sure did.
Yeah, we still
I
need to
tried
do
to.
that. I mean, the belt wasn't mine at that point, I don't think. Because we interviewed at Legends. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
That was episode 50-ish. I think that was our big 50 thing.
It was a year ago. It was like right after COVID. Like, not right after. Yeah, watch that. The Wasp, it just adds excitement to the show. He might sting it. He might not. You know, we'll see what happens.
Gotta have a coat on.
Those cleany bugs, I name him Jessica.
What are you going to do? Take your title?
He ain't gonna fuck with you. Well, he might. I don't know. Now he will. Now he's going to come back for you.
Josh,
TKO. I'm Paul.
So you're going to hug him?
That was more intense than the whole Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather fight.
Is it stuck to your title after that? Don't.
No, he won't fly that way.
No, anyway.
God, Josh.
He's back.
Holy shit. All right, favorite moments from RSA. Yvonne, do your favorite. What were some of your favorite moments when you weren't on? Because I always get a ton of. So I'm forced to see her because she's around and shit. But she'd always give me, you guys are so funny. You guys blah, blah, blah. So what was your favorite before you were full-time on the show?
Listening to you guys carry on all the time. Debate.
Fuck Charlotte.
You guys never. Well, we know you guys.
That's not gonna be That's not gonna be a time. That's every episode. 1 to 100.
Yep. The Goldberg. I loved all of it before I joined, but like
fucking Goldberg. That was the one.
That was it. The Goldberg.
He killed Kevin Owens' fucking reign, right? Like he killed it.
He killed the Fiend's momentum. He destroyed Kevin Owens.
And like, I think there was a time where like Vince got pissed at KO for something, but but seriously though, we're not gonna do future stars because of Goldberg.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? The fact that Roman Reigns is the guy right now, great. Roman Reigns is doing good shit.
He is, yep.
But the fact that Kevin Owens isn't is embarrassing. Kevin Owens is the guy. And like KO should be the guy on Raw while Reigns is the guy on SmackDown. That should be the dynamic, not fucking Bobby Lashley. Oh, we're gonna get Lashley versus blah blah blah. It should be KO.
Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. We'll get there.
It should be KO.
So my favorite moment was honestly probably when we had TJ on for the first time.
Yeah, you guys haven't TJ.
When me and you interviewed him because I was
about
shit myself a few times. He was really chill, and we interviewed him. And then we talked for like an hour after the interview because he was like, well, I got to go. The wife, Natalia.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
By the way, we did see her hand, I believe.
We did.
Bought him some kind of coffee. It's like I drink coffee. My gut just gets bigger. He drinks coffee. I see him on Twitter and she has like 13 packs.
I know. It's scary. Like that was actually a really phenomenal moment.
That was awesome. That's one of my favorites too.
It was crazy.
You did. The one where me and I was over here with Chuck and me and him did. And you were
that was fun
that
too.
Was fun.
There's Joe.
He said how much he hated Guns N' Roses.
Our Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I appreciate Joe and his video. Joe, we showed your video
earlier.
Thank you, Joe.
I did a cheers to you.
I think Joe's working or something. He said
he's always working. He's a working fan. That's what happens.
But
I mean, it was just
TJ was cool.
It was so surreal. Like, think about that though. Like, we started this, as you already mentioned, just texting about wrestling. They're like, "Hey, we should start a podcast."
Right.
And then we got to interact, not just interact with, but actually talk to and bullshit with, which is the important word, I think. Bullshit with, which is way cooler than interviewing somebody.
Yeah.
A fucking former tag team champion, fucking huge WWE alumni, a current producer, TJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd.
Yep.
Like that guy, cool as shit.
Absolutely.
And then like now, because of that, his name, if you notice, pops up anytime a WWE wrestler is interviewed, including The Undertaker, his name pops up.
Yeah, they just put him over crazy.
I was listening to Christian on Jericho's podcast the other day. He brought up Tyson Kidd. It's like from everybody to Christian, from WWE to AEW brings up Tyson Kidd, and we got to talk to him twice on our show.
And we got to have him back soon.
We do.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just that is fun.
Awesome.
That might be what I work on for next week. Well, maybe I don't know because Hell in a Cell predictions is next week. See, I like to get him to come on. Because last time he was on, he did NXT predictions with us.
He did.
But like, I like to have him on when he's not producing shit.
Right.
Like,
he's a busy
Hell
guy.
in a Cell predictions. Like, I don't need no spoilers here because he's got to produce it. So of course he's not going to predict some of them.
Right.
Like NXT, he's not. He's just a fan. So like, it's cool to get his perspective. But
Sure. Yeah.
We'll have him.
And I like talking to him as a fan. I think that's just
And
the
he
coolest
sent
thing.
me a.
And he's nice.
He's very nice.
And doesn't charge $8,000, Leo Rush, for an interview.
There we go.
Oh,
Anyway.
by the way, he quit wrestling. But anyway,
For now, go ahead.
TJ sent me a birthday video too for my birthday too.
He did.
I still
Have that.
And then he messaged me half. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's
Like,
so cool.
I'm still, oh my God.
You owed me. You saved me $60. You didn't have to buy your shit after that.
Dude, he is the coolest guy, and because of that, like you can, it's unreal. The fact that we got to talk to him and he did all of that, it's unreal. It's very cool.
I'm still, oh my God, about
like, even if we could quit RSH right now, which obviously we're not, but if we did, that would be the one thing I'll take away. Like that happened because of the work we do every week. That is so.
Another one of my favorites is my segment I created, the Women's Wrestling Insider I created for the show on the May 28th. You guys.
How do you remember?
Because I have it on my phone saved because I.
You're weird. You're a weird kid.
She remembers everything. She's like, she has all
the
shit. She also has the most, like, she's the equivalent to, what's his name over there? Armchair Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
His wife, Shannon. She's like her. She's the Twitter celebrity over here.
Created it, studied this stuff my whole life. I've watched it. Talk about women's wrestling, good, bad, horrible, whatever.
You have celebrities tweeting every goddamn week.
I do on Twitter. I do talk to some wrestlers. TJ does follow me on Twitter, by the way. He does. And,
yeah, he's a good guy. He follows my personal Twitter. Not to brag.
Not to brag. He follows mine.
I'm the opposite. I got blocked by Zack Ryder.
Well,
Xavier Woods.
Because you told him they stink.
Ryan
really
Satin.
I can't believe Ryan Satin blocked you.
Didn't the King block you?
The King.
Yeah, so does his 3 ex-wives. It's fine.
Are you gonna wait for Charlotte to block you next?
I don't follow her to see her stuff.
I don't think she tweets.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 100 episodes.
That is.
That was our top 5, so to speak.
Yep.
This week, I'll try to think of something fun for next week. I'll probably just do top 5 Hell in a Cell matches.
That's
favorites because next week's Hell in a Cell. So
3 right now, top of my head.
I already know what my number 1 is.
What's your number 1?
I'm not gonna tell you this.
I don't. I gotta do some research. There's too many Hell in the Cell.
All right,
matches
so
to
for
think.
old time's sake, we are still the Buzz.
We are.
We have a couple shows still, but since we are the premier podcast here, check out all the other shows. Some still work, some are still going, some aren't. But one thing they all have in common is they're not as good as RSH. But check them out anyway.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute it's chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you don't know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by your locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look, what's the top dish? Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, swish.
That's what I'm ready for. Oh, shit.
If you guys take anything from that, there's one show on there that still goes on at the same time.
One constant.
Point crossed. Yep.
So that's enough about us. How are you guys doing? Well, that's enough about you guys. Let's talk about WWE wrestling.
So let's start with SmackDown.
So let's start with SmackDown. Probably the best, not probably the best main, what they call it, primetime show.
Primetime. Yeah.
Main event show that we got going on, and even CM Punk. Did you guys see CM Punk
acknowledge
Roman Reigns?
Yeah,
I did see that too.
Taker.
That's huge. Yeah.
And Taker's fun. We knew.
I like how it's funny how Undertaker and CM Punk do, but Jimmy.
Because won't do it. Oos.
It was an interesting
Yeah.
SmackDown. The Usos lose. His shoulder was clearly up.
The ref didn't see
It
it.
caught me off guard. We said last week we thought it'd be interference. We got both. We got a screwy finish.
We did.
And
Yeah.
then
We were
at the end,
ballpark.
Roman
We
beats
ballparked
the
it.
hell out of both of them.
He did.
And reports are it's going to be Roman versus Ray at
It is. But we
Hell in
can't.
a Cell.
We can't bypass that shoulder coming up. And I think honestly, for the first time, the terrible acting that Michael Cole did to put over the fact that shoulder was up.
That was pretty bad.
Because man, Michael Cole was really trying to sell it.
we
It's
obviously
like-
could see it's back.
It's the return of
The Wasp.
the Wasp. So yeah, like it was, but we let's not skip the first part. The first time, the shoulder came up.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole was really about that shoulder coming up.
He has issues with that, doesn't he?
But before
he had that problem at Mania too, where he thought Sasha won, and then she didn't.
But before that, Roman Reigns said, do it. And I kind of dig the Roman Reigns and Jimmy dynamic. At first, I was kind of annoyed by it because it was too predictable. But this week, Jimmy wasn't wearing the shirt. He wasn't wearing.
No, he wasn't. No, he's wearing his right hand man shirt.
He was wearing his Uso brother shirt.
What about when Roman looked at him and goes, "Jay, you understand me?" He goes, or
I
Jimmy.
love that because I still do that.
I'm Jay, and he goes, "Does it even matter at this point?"
I said that all the time.
That's the thing.
Going back to last week, when he was like, "Which one are you again?" To main event.
That's real life shit because people do that.
I do it all the time. I still do.
We've watched them wrestle for 10 years now. I still know what the fuck.
Well, now I know the difference because they have their hair different finally. But before, they were the exact same. They had their paint was different, so it was like, which paint side is which? Right. I mean, they're literally identical twins. It's easy to do.
We're not surprised Roman got involved. He beat the crap out of.
See, we were talking about, do we get the Usos against each other? I never thought we'd get Roman versus Rey Mysterio. I get it, because it'll probably. No, it's funny. It'll probably be great.
It will.
It'll probably be a great match, and Roman will beat the living hell out of Rey.
He's going to, yeah.
It's going to make Roman look strong, and Rey is a legend. And it's funny, they've never crossed paths before, so it's a new thing, and it kills time. To go to Money in the Bank, and I did not want to see. Listen, I was one of the few people I didn't want to see Jimmy versus Roman in the same match as Jay had. It had been repetitive, and it's too much. So at least he'll beat the shit out of Rey. That might soften Rey up to where the Usos get the gold, and then because I still think Dominic's going to turn on Rey on Father's Day.
I do too. I think
that'd be the best. Wait, when is Father's Day? Is that
Hell in a Cell is next Sunday?
Is it the same day?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Sunday night.
That'd be cool.
We've been saying on this show that Dominic was going to turn.
Hey, you got In Your House this Sunday.
I hope it
and then Hell in a Cell, which I'm waiting for Brock to come. We'll get the
I honestly don't think that we're going to see Dominic turn on Father's Day.
It'll be too good.
But they're they're missing out. It's their one opportunity ever to do that.
Get the internet, get the Twitter, get the Twitter people buzzing. Like
do it.
See what I did there, Archie? Buzzing.
Oh,
but, Yvonne. What'd you think?
Roman beat the crap out of Dominic.
Dude, his spear on Rey was sick. He literally twisted him inside out.
He's a good spear.
Beat the crap out of Dominic, threw him into the wall and everything. Kept looking at the Usos like, watch this. To
the wall.
Like Roman told him, he has to handle everything. And he does. That's what Roman does.
Here's the deal, though, with that. With the way that Roman talks, I'm for your family. You have to get this done. Are you going to get this done? All right. So right now he is the Universal Champion.
Yep.
So and I'm asking, I'm in character. I'm in storyline. I believe all of this. This is real life. Why would Roman not want his cousins to be the tag team champions?
Because he's not the one doing it for them. He wants to be
he wants to be controlled of everything.
Yeah, he wants to control.
Yeah. Wouldn't that make his family look weak if he has to do everything for his family? That would make his family look dependent on him.
What they look
Roman's
like.
about
he cares about
himself.
I did everything for you. Yeah. I'm the head of the table. I provide for you. So you.
Well, he failed to do that by getting them disqualified on SmackDown. They didn't lose.
But he didn't put that together.
So whose fault is it that they're not champions?
Roman.
It is Roman. So his mindset is flawed right now.
Yeah.
So what does he want? Let's say this is real.
He wants Jimmy to acknowledge him,
and that's probably why
he hasn't. He's not acknowledged him. So what does acknowledging him mean?
You say, "I acknowledge you as my tribal chief."
That's why Jay's done it.
Yeah. So what would happen if he would do that? What would be the next step?
Then Roman would probably get him a tag match, and he'd probably ensure they.
He just had 2 tag matches, and Roman ensured that they lost.
That's because he's not the one that got it.
And he said, "Our family's watching." Yeah, our family's watching you interfere and making us lose.
Yeah, no, his family watched. The main guy in the family kick everybody's ass. That's what he
also watched. The main guy in the family cost his own cousins the tag team titles.
It's all follow the story.
Roman, you're a bad cult leader, brother. You're a bad cult leader.
It's not a cult.
It's a cult.
We know Roman. Roman did what he did because he wants Jimmy, if I got it right, to acknowledge him. Sorry,
I'm going to wear my Nobody's Bitch shirt tonight.
There you go. Now we'll know.
I'm bad with names. But he screwed them over because he wants them to acknowledge him. Roman's sending him a message, and this is not the message you want to receive getting screwed out of the title match. Roman, we knows about himself. He wants to be in control. He wants Heck, he wants to hold the tag champions. He really does. He wants to be in control of everything. That's
like if
why
they win the tag belts, he wants it to be because he got them the match.
He wants to credit.
He helped them win to where he's
won.
like, yeah, bitch, I'm the tribal chief. If
You're
they would have got
nothing.
him on their own, they could have been like, we don't need you for shit. And he could be like, okay, but now
All right.
they're not going to get another shot. I imagine that tomorrow night, Pierce and Sage is going to be like, no, you got lost twice. Like, you're not getting another shot. Then Jimmy's going to be like, Roman, hey,
he'll put his dick on his shoulder and be like, hey, you got to really
wiggle.
I'm the champion.
Send him a message for them to learn. Then they'll be running to Roman like, okay, now you're starting to see the light now, bro. Like, seriously.
To another championship match, because these are pretty much the only two noteworthy things from SmackDown. And we had important shit to talk about at the beginning of the show.
That was all very important.
Apollo beat KO. Commander Aziz beat the living hell out of KO before he came out to the ring.
KO.
And then Sami Zayn came out and beat the hell out of Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
3 guys.
Poor KO, man.
I want Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell.
I think that's going to happen.
I think
They're clearly leading to that feud.
They always deliver when it's
They do, absolutely.
They're best friends. They're going to deliver.
So with Alistair gone, Big E's kind of in state of flux right now.
Yep.
He's already lost to Apollo. He already lost to Apollo twice, right?
That was rough.
Sami Zayn.
He did.
Unless this becomes a triple threat between Apollo, Zayn, and KO.
I can see that too.
Who do you guys think will ultimately dethrone him? Do you think it's somebody SmackDown currently has, or do you think this is something that it's going to happen down the road? Apollo's run's been pretty decent so far.
Yeah, it actually has,
And he's had the belt for a couple months. He won it at Mania, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was in April. It's
April.
almost it's mid-June
It's
now.
been a few months.
So he's had a pretty decent run. Who do y'all think dethrones him? I think it's going to be somebody that's not even on SmackDown's roster.
That's what I was thinking too. Someone that we don't even know that comes out and beats him.
And something I forgot to put in the beginning. The draft is the 23rd of August, reportedly.
At the end of summer.
23rd after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So you could get
They pushed it back this year.
You know damn well when Roman fights The Rock, they're both going to be on fucking Raw.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Bobby Lashley.
I thought that exact same thing. They're gonna draft. They're gonna swap them.
And Brock's going to go to SmackDown like Fox wanted in the first place.
I absolutely agree with that. I heard that. I was like, oh, that means it's going to be. And then it's going to be Lashley and Lesnar at SummerSlam on Raw, and then Rock and Reigns on Raw on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would help.
And Lashley will go to SmackDown because that's who wanted him when Fox initially. Paid $1 billion.
That
would help Raw with Roman and The Rock. That would help.
Dude, yeah. Roman's the best part of SmackDown.
Yeah,
and
then the Fiend will stay on Raw.
And
then that inevitable feud between them two, which is one of the few long-term storytelling things they do have is Fiend and Reigns.
I just realized talking about that too.
And they're going to get Balor back. So Raw's going to
We talked last week about, I don't remember if it was off air or on air, but we talked about the Shield versus the Wyatt family. That was 6 people. And of those 6 people, only 3 are left on WWE programming.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
What's it, Bray? Yes.
Yeah, Reigns and Seth. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
That's wild.
I think, if I'm making a bold prediction of who comes over and takes that strap from him, it's going to be a baby face. It's going to be from NXT. It's going to be from NXT.
Is it going to be Lumen?
L.A. Knight.
He's going to win. I think I have him winning, don't I? Yeah.
We'll get there. He'll be on SmackDown. A report today said Vince is not looking for specifically great wrestlers. He knows he has great wrestlers already. He wants big personalities.
Sure.
So LA Knight's a huge personality.
He is, yeah.
Cameron Grimes a huge personality. Karrion Kross is a huge personality.
Yep.
Sure.
Adam Cole's a big personality. And I think it's funny, Pat McAfee just called him out on his show the other day.
Again?
Well, Cole was talking shit about him on the Bump Wednesday. And McAfee said, come to Fridays, little man, I'll beat your ass. He's like, I'm Mr. Friday Night now. It's still an ongoing.
I gotcha. I dig that. I like that a lot.
That was a good match.
Announcers and wrestlers fight.
So,
that is funny.
And Pat McAfee breakdancing to Shinsuke's music
He did.
on the announce table was hilarious.
He's good on commentary.
I didn't like that. I wouldn't say he's good. I think he's fucking annoying.
He's entertaining.
But he's getting into his own. I don't.
He's only been at it a month.
Yeah, I don't not like Pat McAfee. Is what I'll say.
That was my words exactly. I was telling Josh. He is annoying. I can't stand him when he talks. Now I like him.
He's a guy who I want to see him get punched in the face for real.
That was my reaction, wasn't it?
And he was just which is good, but he was just a punter on the NFL. So he was like the
an
pussy.
all-decade punter.
Yeah, but he's still a pussy because of that. And so I want to see him get hit.
Let's interview him on this show.
No, I don't want him to. I listen to Bob and Tom. It's fine. I could just tell you what he says. It's the same thing.
When I was going to work back when I had a job at like 4:30 this morning, I listened to it and it was a replay and I was irritated.
Yeah, Bob and Tom sucks, but he used to be on it all of the time, and that's what happens. So back when I listened to it, I listened to Bob and Tom back when he was still a punter for the Colts. And he was just like a little rich boy. He was like, yeah, I bought a wrestling ring. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I'm rich and 24. Fuck off.
So to stay on the train of fuck off, Monday Night Raw.
Let's right thing.
Shit, that's NXT. Boom.
You're
First
done.
thing on Raw was the 10-man, or not 10-man, but the 5-team
Battle Royale.
Won
It's
by
good.
the Viking Raiders, which surprised me a little bit.
It did me too.
But
It did.
RK Bro winning in front of a live crowd definitely has to
More
happen
bet-
more
yeah,
than
more
them winning
better
at Hell in a
than
Cell in
this,
front
yeah.
of the Thunderdome, right?
Sure.
RK Bro winning the tag belts is going to get a
Yeah, that's
gonna get-
like SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yes,
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
So they have to slowly. It was way too soon.
And it built tension between.
It's going to show
Randy,
cracks in
Right.
it, and then they'll get something will happen where somebody kicks Riddle's ass, where Orton's has to have his back,
Or vice
and
versa.
then, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm okay with it. It's a new match. I don't expect AJ and Omos to lose, but I'm glad to see the Viking Raiders on TV.
People
Yeah.
love the Viking Raiders.
Oh, and they showed some edge at the end when AJ was talking shit to him. AJ's promo was terrible.
Yeah, it always is.
It always is.
AJ's
But he's
promo-
still
I mean,
phenomenal.
I felt like he was
Of course
talking
not.
for an hour.
Yeah, I know, right? I kept going. I was eating my pizza while I was watching it, and then my pizza was almost done, and he was still talking.
I do think Mason T-Bar had a strong showing in this match.
They did, yeah.
They hit the double choke slam
Yeah,
on
they
a
did.
couple people. They had a strong showing. The Lucha House Party, nobody cares. Miz going down the ramp in the wheelchair was hilarious.
I didn't understand it.
Because like Morrison starts doing his shit, and he's like, "Oh shit," because he lost the Miz, and he had to go and save him before he fucking crashed. into
Morrison's Johnny Drip. He had his little drip stick thing shooting
Chuck,
water
what's your
at it.
feelings on the drip stick?
I hate it, honestly. I don't think that's funny. The drip, like every time he says drip, I get fucking
I
annoyed.
think that's what his hair clip says.
Maybe
I
it's
think
the
I've noticed
boomer
it.
in me.
His
I don't
glasses
know.
say drip on it.
Yeah.
Our dad hates it too.
Dude, maybe it's just the old man in
My
me.
dad was
but
like, "What the fuck?"
I
is that?"
can't stand it. I really like Morrison. Like he's got
I do
the
too.
look. I want to see him be
And the town. yeah.
good. But then he's just fucking drip. I'm like, what? No.
Miz is throwing
No.
it. He's like squirting. Like, gotcha.
Go back to fucking that Netflix Glamour Girl wrestling show and let's do that going forward.
I think it's funny. I love it.
Yeah.
but it makes worse and bad now.
Just so you guys know, watching right now or listening later, we are literally being like haunted by a fucking wasp.
So the live viewers, it's what I'm looking at because I hit it with my title already, and it's
It's already
and-
it's on the show. So
and
go
he's
back and read.
pissed. So,
It wants Josh's belt too, so you just hit it.
I'm pretty sure it's going to attack Josh if anybody, so I'm all right.
I got a jacket on
Okay,
for that
but I
reason.
keep looking at the light bulb and it's blinding me.
Yeah, there's no cover over it.
So if I click the wrong slide. But speaking of world champions, this will be the last time we see Drew.
I
and
hope
Bobby
to God
Lashley.
they mean that.
They
last
made it.
Time.
They made it official.
They
The
made it.
contract
Last
is
time.
if Drew loses, he can never challenge for the title again.
Well, thank God. No
Um,
offense.
That's next week. I'll tell you now, there's not a fucking
God.
chance in hell I see Bobby Lashley losing this belt.
No,
Uh-uh,
but,
absolutely not.
Does this do anything for? I like both guys, honestly. Like I know you guys are a little more sour on Lashley than I am, but I like Lashley a lot.
He's fine for now.
I do like that.
But I've seen this match too many times. Is it going to be a
Yes.
good match? Sure. Is there going to be crazy bumps? I'm sure these
It's
big guys will.
It's
Yeah.
becoming a running
The
joke.
best thing about the Hurt Business this Monday was MVP talking to Kofi.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
was cool.
said, dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I could
do
see a
you
heel
like
turn.
losing?
I can see a heel
like-
turn.
I turned New Day. Both of them.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
start with
Right.
have them join. That's
Sure.
that's a switch.
That's what I'm
then when
saying.
them and they run into Big E again, like, dude, what the fuck happened to you guys?
Yeah.
And then
I agree with
that
that.
could lead to a Big E Bobby Lashley feud down the
That
road
would, yeah.
because the draft's coming.
Sure.
Act like they won't put the New Day.
So you make
if Lashley's still champion and goes to SmackDown and Big E's there
sure.
and New Day's part of it, the New Day's
They'll
going
go
to
with
go.
him. Right.
And then, hey, let's get back together. It's like, fuck you.
Dude, I was gonna say the exact
Like,
same thing.
what's gonna
Honestly,
happen?
because they're gonna if you take New Day, Kofi, and Xavier, throw them with him, turn heel, go to SmackDown, and we're all three together. So like, no, man, we're more serious.
Yeah, we
now.
don't do that shit now.
Yeah, like that's now.
You do Big E versus Lashley.
I completely
huge high profile.
I completely, and that will be their big,
Biggie,
and that's going to be like after September.
And Lashley could still be champ depending on how long Brock, or if Brock's as of right this second. There's no plans to even call Brock.
It's Brock,
but that changes. That'll change. I just want to tell the people
that's Brock.
As of this second, there's 2 matches that are being discussed.
It's Brock.
Which I had news on one. So Fiend Demon was supposed to happen last year, but COVID nixed it. Yeah. So Vince did not want to do it without a live crowd.
That's fair.
And Brock Lashley was talked about last year. No crowd. And then they just let Brock go.
Sure.
But right now, the 3 matches being talked about, Cena and Roman, Lashley Lesnar, Fiend, Demon, then RK Bro, AJ and Omos, and I think Profits, Usos, Mysterios.
It's going to be
and maybe the Alpha.
What you just said is what's going to happen. It's going to be all of those.
We'll have to do a show before SummerSlam where we predict the card.
Sure.
Before they start naming.
You just predicted it. This is exactly what's.
Maybe we'll do that after Hell in a Cell.
It's going to be Lashley Lesnar. It's going to be Cena Reigns.
That's it. Charlotte, Rhea, Becky.
That's it.
Bianca, Bayley, Sasha.
That's it. That's exactly correct. And that's what we should be doing.
Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler versus Tamina and Natalya.
I can't wait to get to your guys' take on Alexa.
Well, that's why I said her name.
I can't wait.
That's all correct.
That I'm grateful for RSH is I've learned how to segue very well. Even though on my solo podcast I do not segue very well, which is why I have 0 of them at this point in time. But we'll start with Chuck on this one. That last segment, Alexa's Playground.
Dude, as I was watching it, my immediate thought was the Randy Orton Undertaker feud from like 04-ish when they did like those backstage segments where like Randy was seeing Taker in the mirror and like there's blood on his face. That. Like it's not good TV. I love the dark demon ghost characters, but I don't like it when the logical characters get interference from that. As good as that is in a horror movie, it doesn't translate to professional wrestling where we're supposed to actually believe that it's a real thing happening. And seriously, when I watched that, my first thought was it's just like Taker and Orton in 2004. And I remember watching that shit live, and it was not entertaining. It doesn't translate on live television. So that segment I don't like, but I still like the feud between the two. Like, at least Baszler's doing something outside of fucking Nia Jax.
That's the only positive we can about this.
Yeah, I mean, so that's good. I don't know. I know off the air we talked about her. Like, you guys think she may be the doll or something. I don't think that's
into like Alexa's
like right hand man.
Yeah, like Shannon could be an ass kicking machine, and then Alexa's just kind of there.
That could be, I guess. I didn't really get that.
I have no idea what to get from it.
I mean,
that ending was weird as fuck. That's what I was like. It was. I don't know. I don't have an opinion.
Her
when I was watching it with her, and I was like, "That's the end."
That's awful.
And then the last thing you see is the doll, and the lights go out, and
yeah.
I like that shit, but it translate as a.
This is gonna be one of those things. Ask me next week because I don't know. And next week's the week before Hell in a Cell, so something, if anything's gonna come of that, it'll be next week.
He's lurking. He is not happy that we went to episode 100. This dude is pissed.
The fact that this whole, I mean, I liked her Alexa with the Fiend segment, but it's kind of too much anymore.
Kick him into the candle.
Are you really fighting?
That's right.
He landed on the jack-o'-lantern. I think the end game here is the candle. Oh, he's in the light now.
My crotch just made its debut on RSH.
But her whole gimmick.
Finally, it's on.
I liked her gimmick with the Fiend stuff, but now she's kind of dragged it on too much. I like the look. Really annoying. I wish Alexa Bliss would go back to what she was before this whole mess.
She's going to be
the doll.
Something's have to turn her back.
Shayna stepping on the doll. Al, like, grow up. This is what children do. It's a little doll. I agree with Baszler. It is a stupid doll. Like, really? There has to be a point to all this. It's so confusing.
This is why I can't have an opinion. Last week was inconclusive.
It was
and I'm not quite
sure. Early on.
I don't really know what it meant.
It's early.
That you don't hurt her doll. I don't.
So you got a very good point, in my opinion, Yvonne. Or actually, I think Josh, whatever, it was brought up.
Somebody did. Yep.
So we said that, somebody has to kick Alexa back to reality. When is that going to happen? Are we going to see Nikki Cross ever come back to Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
Because I thought that she would end up joining her craziness. And so far, she's doing her own thing. She has 3 wins in a row. Nikki Cross does.
Charlotte, Rhea.
So, what's going on with Nikki Cross right now? Like, she has momentum right now. And it's outside of Alexa Bliss.
I don't know.
Bray.
Do you think do you think Cross will end up with the Bliss storyline?
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen.
That would be
cool. There's only who changed her? Bray.
Yep.
Who she ditched Bray. She turned on him at WrestleMania, right?
Oh,
and then she said, I don't need you. When he comes back,
you think he'll get Cross?
Listen, I'm back better than. Remember his last firefight? He's like, I'll be back and I'll be better than ever. He's gonna come back, show her like, I'm in charge of the dark shit. This is my thing. You tried it, I'm back, and I still think Cross.
So you still think she's a part in that going forward?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think Cross ends up on SmackDown.
Sure.
I don't think he ends up on as much money as he'd be on Raw. I think Cross, especially if we all think Roman's moving over.
Wait a minute. I'm talking about Nikki Cross.
Oh, carry on. My bad. No, not that Cross. I think that's done.
But I said that Nikki she's had 3 wins in a row. She has momentum right now.
She does.
I think that's going to be continuing
Why would she go back to
outside of Alexa Blitz's stuff.
Yeah.
All right, because they're both on Raw.
I think at some point, maybe next week, they turn that into a triple threat with Nikki. She's beat both. She did. Well, not technically beat them, but like to stop the clock.
She should face the winner. Yeah, triple threat.
I think they do a triple threat and she takes the pin because they don't want.
She's beat both of them.
Charlotte's not going to take the fucking pin. I mean,
we'll say that
one constant from episode 1 to 100 is Charlotte's not taking the fucking
pin.
pin.
You want to be Charlotte Flair's speaker for her? Because we're just going to let
Charlotte's not taking the pin.
Nope.
And Rhea's not losing a belt. So how do we get there?
She's not going to get a
Let's make her look strong for a month. Have her lose. Boom. Easy peasy.
Done.
There's my steak with ketchup.
I would like to see Alexa Bliss back in the title picture like she used to before she went crazy.
Well, she finally actually fought her this past Monday.
She did punch her in the face.
She did punch her in the face. She, for the first time in a while, got physical, which is a sign that she's actually going to be in a match soon.
Yeah.
Probably Hell in a Cell.
Every fucking thing they're holding back is because no fucking fans. Which
sure.
I get. And when we get fans back, it'll be the first month of WWE is probably going to be the best it's been in a long time.
Crazy.
But
think about that July 17th.
It's like RK Bro can't win the titles. Yeah. Fans. No Brock. Fans. No Rock. Fans. No Cena.
There's
fans.
Always something.
Like title changes. Fans. Like, God damn it. Like, fucking fans.
Easy. The Wasp is over there now. It's fine.
No, he's up there on the line.
and you just mentioned Charlotte, so you wouldn't get a little frustrated with it.
Let's go to something that'll calm my nerves.
Easy.
The best show of the week.
As always,
pay-per-view.
It's the best show.
My favorite show of the week is Pornhub, but anyway.
NXT and y'all motherfucking house is this weekend.
Really? You can't say.
Article's up. Archie post a link. Please don't try to type that in. Just go to whatthebuzz.com and it should be front and center. I don't even know where to start. So we'll start with.
You don't even know what you're doing.
The winner take all, because these matches don't happen much anymore. A 6-man tag for the NXT North American Championship.
Yeah,
and the tag team championship. That's a match we haven't seen for a long time.
This is the old school title.
I'm going to look up
old school terms,
I should say.
Oh, I remember a winner take all match. It was Becky and Seth versus Corbin and Lacey Evans.
You're right.
That's when he did the end of days on Becky.
That was right, because that was for both their titles.
Both titles. Yep, that was a good match.
I like how Impact pops up.
That just came to mind as I was thinking about it.
Oh, I didn't need Google.
Thank you.
I got Bronson Reed and MSK.
So
that's what I got.
They're both new. Reed just won the belt.
Didn't MSK? They just
Santos Escobar don't necessarily need that belt.
You do.
We got a floater. Uh-oh. Is he on the ground? Oh, he's dead. Josh got the Wasp.
He's standing tall.
And Josh is doing the DX chops to him right now. He's holding the belt up high. Josh versus Wasp.
You can keep that belt with that.
Josh wins.
Ant-Man, it took you hours.
Hey, I like Paul Rudd. Don't diss Paul Rudd.
Anyway,
I love Paul Rudd.
Bronson Reed, I think, is going to end up feuding with Swerve Scott and his group, Hit Row. This is going to be a good match.
I don't see them losing.
I think Bronson Reed pins one of Escobar's guys, and they win. And it's probably the opening match, and it probably is.
They just won the
pretty damn
belts.
good.
I don't see them losing.
No, that'd be a good tag team
That'd be
match.
a good match.
I can't even tell you what they look like right now because I'm watching NXT, but I'm sure it'll be a good match.
One thing we need to work on in our next 100 episodes.
Yeah, you watching
Get
NXT.
Chuck watching the best show of the week.
Yeah, you
I've acrobats. All right, I get it. It's cool.
Raquel Gonzalez. Chuck will know who this is. She's on the main roster at one point. Amber Moon.
I do know Amber Moon.
Shotzi Blackheart got legit injured by Raquel Gonzalez. So Amber's been going after her to defend her friend. But unfortunately, Raquel is not going to lose the belt.
She's not,
her,
absolutely.
In my opinion. So I got Raquel winning that one.
Gonzalez is holding tight.
I think that'd be a great match.
Yep.
And with Io Shirai coming back last week, we'll see. But I think Io Shirai might be feuding. Her and that Poppy singer chick might be end up feuding with Candice and
Beyonce.
Andy.
No, Poppy.
Oh.
She dropped her album on NXT.
Oh,
Triple H was like, "What are you doing?"
He's so
and
old
she was
school.
he's like, "When's your album come out?" Because it's named after NXT. She's been on NXT many times. Triple H was like,
she had her phone.
How do you kids drop albums nowadays? She's like,
just did it.
He's like,
him and Regal.
You didn't even do anything.
Him and Regal's like, what the
I've
heck?
sold a couple. Regal's like, there's like, Triple H makes his face like,
it's on.
And now it's a meme. He's like, and it's like when Vince tries to call up Adam Cole.
I could dig
him and Regal's face. They're so old school. Yeah.
And then Dexter Loomis and Indy Hartwell's been doing that
so
love thing for a while.
It's heartbroken.
Dexter Loomis went up to her with a picture he drew of her and gave it to her, and she started blushing and gave him a hug. And then Indy Hartwell walks up.
She started crying.
And that's Triple H makes the face like. And then Indy Hartwell starts crying and runs off, and now Poppy and everybody's feuding. So
Candice is ticked about that.
We'll see. Candice. But Zia Lee, who's been insane, crazy, and kicking everybody's ass.
Nope.
I got Zia Lee, and y'all got Mercedes. Yvonne, why the hell are you picking Mercedes Martinez? This girl is new. They're not going to have her lose yet. She just got
Mercedes Martinez. I mean, do you not see what she's done on NXT?
Yeah, she lost her last. She won last week.
Here's where I picked Mercedes. Because in Grand Theft Auto, there was a hooker named Mercedes. And that's it.
Mercedes.
So that's why I picked Mercedes.
I like Mercedes Martinez. She had a match with Ripley a while back. I think it was Ripley. Or Raquel. I forget which one. Mercedes is really good. I like her. She has not won the title yet, but I do like the other girl as well, but she is new. And Mercedes did beat the crap out of her last night too. She did. She attacked her, and then
all this does is this inevitably make sure that I don't lose a match at this pay-per-view. Now watch Mercedes win.
Oh, that's fair.
See, these are the risks I'll take when the belt's not on the line. Next week I'm going straight chalk.
There's only one match that I know that I fucked up on, but I said it, so I'm sticking with it.
Leave to the women's picks to myself, the women's insider here. Thank you. I study this stuff, so you can just keep thinking.
I'm curious. All right.
By curious.
The ladder match for the $1 million championship. Cameron Grimes.
LA
Knight.
I don't want to sound like him.
Chuck, you're the different one on this one.
You are.
Suck it. Degenerate, fools.
You are.
Ain't got time to do what you tell me to do.
As annoying as Cameron Grimes is, I couldn't stand it, but now I like him.
That's the breaks, boy. Yeah, suck it. Break it down. All right, so what am I different on? I don't know what's going on.
You picked LA Knight.
LA Knight.
You guys didn't?
We did. Cameron Grimes.
Fools. It's going to be LA Knight. He's going to win.
I'd love to pick LA Knight, but since he's been on NXT, he's been losing.
Oh, well, here's the difference.
Been. And Cameron Grimes, how annoying he is, his stuff that he does is really good.
There it is.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's the belt. There you go. That's a nice looking belt.
Gold ladder.
That's like a new edition belt.
I like the ladder.
It's got the gold ladder with the money sign on it.
That's
what I was telling you about earlier, using the overlay.
I like that.
Don't destroy the ladder.
You know what? I'll start integrating this into certain things we talk about because it's kind of cool to visually see it.
So which one's LA Knight?
This one on
the
your
guy
side.
in the yellow.
Yep, on your side.
Okay. He's who's winning.
No, he's not.
He has the look, but when you see him wrestle in the ring,
I got Cameron Grimes.
Why do you have Cameron Grimes?
Because money's literally his gimmick.
Is that right?
And
he's killed everything he's been in.
I honestly don't know.
And he's been winning, and
it could go either way, though. DiBiase's been bouncing back and forth,
has.
so he claims the winner, I guess, gets his managerial services
and the title.
So I don't know. They asked Triple H today in his conference call, is the $100 million $100 million. Is the $1 million championship going to be defended? He just kind of brushed it off. So
that belt's never been defended.
Sean Rapp said Triple H was quote unquote sassy today in the press conference.
Triple H was sassy.
Yes, what he said. He said, "I love sassy Triple H." So
who doesn't love Triple H?
Take that for what it is.
He was sassy.
Now we'll have to break
All
this
right,
one
game.
down. This match right here could go literally.
It could go 5 ways.
So Karrion Kross versus Pete Dunne versus returning Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano versus Kyle O'Reilly. So this is NXT's best
match. Yeah.
These are the 5 top.
To me,
guys
this could happen 2 ways. It's just hard.
So it could go Kross destroys everybody and continues.
That's my Doesn't get
one of these other 4 guys win the belt, and then Kross gets this call here soon.
Yeah.
So the line of thinking is if Kross gets a call, there's going to be live fans, but there ain't going to be live fans for another.
So.
Well, Money in the Bank you will, but I wouldn't imagine Kross's feud could start at Money in the Bank, I guess. I wouldn't see him being in a match as such, like a Money in the Bank.
I don't see him going anywhere right now.
But
not right now.
We'll start with you then.
For me, got winning? We know this match is too hard. For me, it's going to happen 2 ways. Kross wins, like you said, or somebody like Kross ain't going to get pinned. I see maybe Pete Dunne pins like a Kyle O'Reilly or Gargano. Because I don't see, Adam Cole, him and Kyle O'Reilly still have unfinished business. Gargano, he has his stuff with the way, and I'm not real sure. Maybe he's still bitter about the NXT North American title. Maybe. I think. And then Pete Dunne's the only one that hasn't really been in the title picture. I can see him pinning, winning. But I have Kross. I mean, I really don't see Kross losing right now unless it's Pete Dunne.
That looks nice. I like that.
That is cool.
That is cool.
They did the whole in your house thing.
Pete Dunne don't have his hair in a bun.
Well, Pete Dunne says pretty douchey, but
wow,
it's not. He don't have his hair in a man bun all the time.
That's good.
Thank God.
All right, who do you have? Chuck.
I got Kross, brother.
I do too.
I got Kross retaining, which means that from my card I have no titles changing.
That's what I did too. I don't see it.
For Triple H is rough, but I know the popular vote here is probably Kross loses the belt and then goes to the main roster later because they just got rid of 18 different guys, including Braun Strowman. So it's time to replace that roster. Mm-hmm. But I say nay, because Cole, we're done with Cole. I don't know what Cole's doing, Adam Cole, but he has been on NXT for years now. And he is maxed out. He's not going to be champion again and do another champion run. He just
He's one I'd eliminate right off the bat.
That's what I did too with these.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Gargano, he's had his time. He's really good at doing things that aren't champion things.
Yeah.
So no, he's not going to win it. Pete Dunne, hair, said enough. and then this other
and scary looking, by the way. Yep.
For fuck's sake.
And then this other guy, what's his name?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, yeah.
He's still kind of new to the.
I don't shock the system either. Listen, he's just not going to win it. Look at that face. That's not a championship face. So
that leaves one person.
That leaves my boy Kross.
I'm with you.
Retaining the title and moving to the main event roster at a later date.
I'll break this down in odds. We'll go Vegas.
Oh boy.
Start with the least likely to win, Cole at 5.
Yep.
Don't see it.
Nope.
Don't see it.
They've been there, done that.
O'Reilly and Cole have one more match coming up, and it's not going to be for the belt. Brings Riley in at 4 as least likely.
It's way beyond the belt.
Pete Dunne. I think what you said about Cole can be said for Pete Dunne as well. I think Pete Dunne could work on the main roster.
Yeah. Sure.
He can work, and he's got a strong personality, and he can talk. And he was the longest reigning UK champion until
he needs something to do. He needs something to do.
So that breaks
without issue, by the way.
So that breaks us down to the 2 people that are left, which is Gargano and Kross. So how I see it happen, there's a couple factors here. So the main roster thing. Yes, Money in the Bank is next with live fans. Yes, Kross will come out and challenge his opponent for SummerSlam there. Or when The Fiend comes back the night after Money in the Bank, Kross could come out, even though I think it'll be Balor, but Balor also could play a role in this. Balor's still in NXT. He's not on the takeover.
He's still bitter about Kross.
And he lost to Kross.
That's kind of like what we said earlier. How we're all saying Lesnar, but it's not really official yet.
Balor could interfere and cause Kross or take Kross out of the equation, because I think we can all agree if Kross loses, he's not taking the pin.
No, he's not.
This isn't an elimination, so it's one pin could lose and not
be pinned,
get hurt, but because he doesn't take the pinfall.
He could be standing up somewhere else. What the fuck?
I'm going with Johnny Gargano because his NXT top title reign lasted about 2 weeks. And as long as he's been there, he's only won it that one time that I can recall. And I think he's due for – they just took the North American strap off of him and never gave him a rematch, which NXT does give rematches.
They never gave
– They never acknowledged – they don't even acknowledge he lost. I think they took the strap off of him to give it to him here.
But he's got a popped collar.
He's fucking hood.
Champions don't have popped collars.
I wear a popped collar.
Because Gargano did.
Listen, leather jacket in 98-degree weather.
It goes with the look.
You look like a fucked up O-Town video. Calm down.
I don't even know what O-Town is.
You know what O-Town is?
No.
Oh,
you don't want it all or nothing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I know. Okay.
I'm going Gargano.
All right. I mean,
Sneaky, and he's got also.
That's fair.
He's got the way, and his wife could be out there, and Indy.
That's a good theory you got there.
Yeah, see, I like what you did there.
But Pete Dunne also has his little friends in his corner too. The little tag team guys, Loney and Arkin, are also in Pete Dunne's corner. They can come out too.
Well,
but Karrion Kross is a straight up pimp who doesn't need help.
He's got Scarlett.
He's got.
I mean,
she ain't gonna do nothing.
She could listen.
Yeah,
she can distract.
She's pretty good.
Really.
Out of these matches, which one do you guys are most likely? I guess the Fatal 5-Way would be the obvious. Outside of that, which match do y'all think could steal this show?
No, I would say Fatal 5. After that, I would have to look at him again.
The winner take all for me. The winner take all.
Grimes, LA Knight.
That one too.
Winner take all. MSK, Bronson Reed, Legado del Fantasma.
I would say both
Raquel
of
and Ember Moon, Zia Lee and Mercedes. I think when the night's over, biggest thing said it's gonna be Johnny Gargano is two-time NXT champ, and Cameron Grimes is the 100. Why do I keep calling it the $100 million champion?
Gosh,
the $1 million title.
Like you really like that title way more than it's
and he
worth.
loves Cameron Grimes.
I think LA Knight and Cameron Grimes will have a very entertaining match.
Yeah.
DiBiase's going to be involved. I can see some shenanigans with interference out of some random people that Grimes has pissed off in the past, throwing money at him because he's rich off his GameStop stock.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Man.
And he's very loud and annoying.
I think it's obvious the Fatal 5-Way is going to be the match of the night. And NXT's would be great because it comes on at 8 and it's going to be over 10.
I plan on watching that match. Whether or not I watch it live is still TBD, but I'm watching that match no matter what.
But if Johnny Gargano does not win, I think it'll be Pete Dunne.
That's what I was saying.
I think a heel is leaving this match with the title, which would eliminate.
You know what? Honestly, if I had to,
it's funny. Kyle Riley's the only babyface in this match.
He is. He is pretty.
I'm not changing my pick. I have Cross winning, but if I was going to, I would have Pete Dunne. I think Pete Dunne's going to win. Honestly,
Pete Dunne's done some really good work.
I think he's going to be the guy that comes out with it.
That's what I was thinking earlier about this. I'm like.
I think he hasn't really had like a main event run on NXT, but his name is so big and he's done such good work.
He does.
And you look at everybody else in the match. Pete Dunne's the only thing that doesn't really have nothing going on. Everybody else seems like
he's just calling out the champion.
He is,
and he's like, I'm a better wrestler than you. He just beat the cruiserweight champion.
He did.
Like
these two haven't fought before, have they? In a one-on-one match, I don't think they
let's
have.
put this in broader perspective now. Hell in a Cell's next week or the Sunday after this one.
Sure, 2 weeks, week and a half, week and 3 days.
I know two things are true. Roman is leaving with the title.
Fact.
So is Bobby Lashley.
Fact.
So is Rhea.
Yep.
Fact.
So is Bianca.
Fact.
And here we are in NXT, like it could go 5 different ways. You know what I mean?
I would say
that's what's fun about wrestling. But like there's multiple options.
There is.
Sure. Like, is AJ and Omos going to lose to the Viking Raiders at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be like 10 matches over 10. I ain't going to lose my title next at Hell in a Cell because everything's so. Thank you, Vince. You've helped me a little bit.
That's the thing here. We're not talking about what match could be. We're talking about Vince versus Triple H. What would Vince do? What would Triple H do?
Vince like everybody defend and retain. Right. I bet the women tag titles probably switch hands.
I could see that.
Something's going to change.
I could see the tag titles change,
but not the SmackDown or Raw ones unless they give it to these.
SummerSlam is already done. It's written. It is going to be what we already said.
SummerSlam's going to be amazing, and it's going to be on a Saturday night. And you might get a John Cena.
Well, it's going to have Cardi B featuring. So.
Well, they have not announced that. She does the song.
She's going to do some WAP, which is disgusting.
Why?
That's Tori Wilson's fault for calling her out on Raw.
Is that the whole reason?
And then Cardi B's like, what the fuck is Raw?
Cardi B
and she's like, oh, yeah, I used to love wrestling at the Attitude Era.
Cardi B used to fucking mug people. So
she don't even know what wrestling
somewhere.
is. Why on earth is she hosting? Because she got into it with a former wrestler. Like, that's stupid.
Tori Wilson's awesome. Cardi B's gross.
This is going to be
Cardi B.
an interesting pay-per-view.
I have cardiac problems.
For it. Last year's was pretty good.
I think it's funny. Like I'm not bashing it at all. I think it's cool. I'm not. I don't want Cardi B. Her being involved makes me sad. But like other than that, the matches sound cool. Like Lashley versus Lesnar, Las Vegas, the City of Champions, or the fight, whatever the fuck they call it. You know, very UFC. It makes sense and it's fun. If people want to see that, I think that's cool. Reigns and Cena, all day. Yep. I like those two on the mic together. And as much as I like to shit talk both of them, they would both make me look like a pussy. So I do like that. The only issue I have is Cardi B, honestly. Saturday night's cool. I love Saturday nights because I'm not working. So I can watch it. I don't have to get up at 5:30 a.m. the next day. So yeah. I think all of that is neat. I think Saturday is neat for our SummerSlam.
Yeah, that is.
I think I'm basically a boomer. I'm an old millennial, but I think it's neat. I'll use that word.
When I was thinking about Cross retaining, I was thinking about it earlier. I'm like, should I change to Pete Dunne? Then I'm thinking when Cross wins, he's going to pin like Kyle or Adam or somebody. I think it's going to come down to Pete Dunne calling Cross out. I think it's where Cross will go next.
I can see that. Like, I honestly think Pete's going to win. I really do.
Everybody else has everything else they're going on. Pete Dunne don't have nothing.
Pete Dunne's he's going to be the surprise. It's probably his time to shine. We already said.
Yeah. Maybe he'll beat Cross. Maybe.
Cole's done it. Gargano's done it. Cross is probably coming to the main roster. O'Reilly has some other unfinished business with everybody else. It makes sense for Pete to have his time as a
the easy one champion. To pick out of there is Pete. Yeah.
Granted, I didn't pick him, but yeah, man.
It'd be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I don't have to work Monday now. So
hell yeah.
That's a fucking plus, I guess. So
that's fun.
So let's finish with a couple bits of news. WrestleMania, who's ready for WrestleMania 39 already? One match is apparently locked in and ready to go.
Rock and Reigns.
Wow. Drew McIntyre versus John fucking Cena. They've been going at each other on Instagram.
Have they really?
And a WWE source says, and I quote, lock it in.
Michael Cole, and I quote.
So, hey.
The trash talking could be fun. Because, with McIntyre, he was actually Vince's golden boy before Cena's.
What did he post a picture? Cena did?
That's John Cena's Instagram.
What the heck is this?
Is there any
Nah, Cena doesn't do that.
Nice.
But he's also just posted a picture of Roman like 2 weeks ago.
So he's just posting pictures of guys' chests on Instagram?
Yeah. Whose face was there?
Well, that's creepy without words. Like seriously,
that's cool, man. I dig that. So like
that would be different. So use John Cena to get people over.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
After allegedly burying people years ago.
There's a story there. Because when McIntyre was chosen as Vince McMahon's golden boy, that
is a good story.
That was before Cena's reign.
And then he could say, I was the golden boy.
So Cena took it from McIntyre. That's the story.
That'd be a good
point. And you can finally get Drew off this stale babyface shit.
Yeah, that's the story right there.
Listen, everybody likes booing Cena. I'll tell you this, and I guarantee it. If he doesn't, I'll just relinquish it. When John Cena hits the curtain, it's going to fucking pop.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not going to be Cena sucks. It's going to pop.
Oh, we'll
fondness makes the heart grow stronger. Cena's going to get the biggest ovation as soon as this shit comes. As soon as he comes back.
I agree with you.
He's been going for.
But we're going
WrestleMania 37.
We're going to hear boos though.
We're going to hear Cena sucks. We really are.
No, we're going to hear boos.
He only got boos the last time he was fighting Bray.
No, don't get it twisted.
He's going to get a pop.
We're going to hear boos in the same way that Kurt Angle gets Angle sucks. It's going to be
Cena sucks.
It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a holy shit. Oh, it's going to blow the fuck up.
But you're right.
It's going to be a good thing.
That story's perfect.
It is.
I was the chosen one, then you took that from me. Now I'm in a fucking rock band.
And Cena's
by then he's already that gender feud has to happen between now. That could be something you throw together in that pay-per-view.
You don't have to mention
Extreme Rules, the horse show. Throw it in there.
Dude, and Cena will be like, "Yeah, they go somewhere else to get bit, dog. I've been here the entire time." Like it's going to be if they do it correctly and let both have attitudes.
Too Fast, Too Furious. I'll destroy you.
Let's be fair. To be fair.
Yeah, you're right. The Rock destroyed that many movies ago.
I mean,
but
6. I like 5. 5 was good.
We know how judgmental you are, but Fast.
Don't be hating.
Yeah,
he's jealous.
He's jealous. For the second straight week, we're going to end talking about movies, but I'll save it.
Did you guys see that they want to do a Jurassic Park Fast and the Furious crossover?
Stop.
Seriously. And real quick, this is funny. And I saw a pretty funny thing.
Whiskey Cinema, help me.
It was like so that happens. Let's say that happens, and Vin Diesel, his character Dom, he's like,
I do not want to see Chris Pratt riding a dinosaur, and then The Rock goes up like, "Sup, bro?" Like, nah.
Do you know what these T-Rexes can't stop? Family. Anyway, go ahead.
And then Roman rolls up with the Rock like, I'm the head of the table. With his 0 words.
Does he still do that?
No, he doesn't.
Was Roman in one? Which one was
he was in the Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh,
yeah, he was.
I watched that one. He had 0 lines.
He actually did that too.
Why the heck was he in it?
Well, he was a baby face back then. Of course, everybody knows doing this is a baby face move.
I don't think he did this, but he did do Superman punch in it though.
Why the heck was he in? He didn't say a word.
Oh, he's young at that time.
So one of Roman's biggest foes. Where's Bray been?
Yeah.
Bray has been purposely being this. So over the course of this next week, since now I'm unemployed and I have plenty of time to myself, I'm going to write down for next week's episode every single fucking thing we are waiting for live fans for. Because I think we've named 10 things. Because Bray Wyatt has been kept off TV on purpose because Vince wants him to get a huge pop when the live fucking fans come back. So add Bray to the lit. Lesnar, fucking Rock, John Cena, Bray, Balor. We'll get good shit when the fans come back. But Bray's been purposely left on TV. He's doing well after his, the Luke Hart or Brody Lee, I should say, he's passing. Everything's good on Bray's front. He has no backstage heat. That was a rumor he had backstage heat with Orton. That's been said by many people. Not Bray's one of the most beloved people, honestly, backstage.
I don't think Bray
he showed a picture that he was the only one left from that bus ride. Where like Strowman was there, and it's like Bray's the last one. Bray's loved backstage. Vince loves Bray. Bray's 100% fine. Sebastian from Arena Rock Show podcast, they used to come on at some point in the past.
Sure.
But he texted me.
Yeah, they're out there touring now. They're too big.
Yeah, they are. They're going to the campground. Good luck to the cicadas. I was thinking about going, but I was like,
it's all gonna get you.
Like they're there. But he texted me the other day and he goes, dude, when did Sasha Banks go to AEW? And I was like, what the fuck? He sends me a picture. Sasha Banks goes elite. I was like, bro, those are like everywhere. Like, that's not real. So I just sent him a few of the sites I go to.
Yeah, she's not.
So, yeah. So, for the people that might have seen that, Sasha Banks is just being separated from Bianca so they can have their rematch at SummerSlam, which is probably going to involve Bayley.
Sure.
And maybe a call-up.
As it should.
Yeah, it should.
Io Shirai could be called up at that point. So, we'll see. And WWE plans to release more superstars.
That's all that.
Yvonne, give me 3 people you think it could be.
3 people.
And you ain't got a week to prepare. Hot take.
On either show.
Jackson Riker.
Yep. No, my number 1 right there. My number 1.
Yep. I was just about to
that I don't know his name. The Japanese dude.
Nakamura?
No, the other guy who always runs.
Garza?
I don't know. The guy who dressed up as a fucking.
Lucha House?
I honestly don't know his name.
The Lucha House Party?
No, but he always dresses up as a ninja, and he always chases the.
Oh, Tozawa? You can't release him. He's the 24/7 champion right now.
Get rid of him.
He sounds like a bird. Get rid of him.
He's a joke.
Sorry.
Get rid of him.
All right, so I'm looking at the roster and I'm cheating.
Yeah, because I can't think of all the rosters.
So I got Jackson Riker.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, what did you think about Jeff Hardy going to go win on Raw?
It wasn't on Hulu, so I didn't see
it. I can't think.
Mansoor.
Who did he beat?
Cedric Alexander.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Riddick Moss. He has not been on TV forever.
Who the heck is that?
Exactly.
That's my point.
Those are both on Raw.
Anybody in the women's side on Raw or anything?
Like here's one thing that I want you guys.
You give me some women you think could be
real quick before we go any further. I don't want our audience to think that we want people to get fired and lose their livelihoods.
Right.
I don't want that.
We don't.
But as a viewer and as somebody who is looking at something outside of all of the basics, we're saying the ones that make the most sense is what we're saying. We're not gratifying the people losing their jobs and livelihoods.
We're not encouraging that. We're doing what Vince McMahon does, but it's honestly.
That's what I wanted to say.
All right, Yvonne, 3 women.
On either women.
I don't care as long as they're women.
Let me see. Go to SmackDown's roster. Women's, I can see.
These are all the female wrestlers left, Yvonne.
Oh,
they
that's
just
all.
cleaned house.
Okay. So Lacey Evans is gone because
she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she's not going to be fired. She's just going to be gone for a while.
It wouldn't be her.
I'll get rid of Seth Rollins. Fuck that guy.
I don't think any women wrestlers.
I don't think so
They
either.
don't have any to let go anymore.
I was gonna say, no, I think they cleaned all that out. Otis.
No, I don't think they're released.
He doesn't.
I think Otis should be gone though.
I do
honestly,
too.
I know they're pushing him right now.
He had his nice little run with Mandy.
No,
but
it's funny.
Now.
They're pushing.
Probably going to be NXT people use whoever the fuck Chase Parker is. He's not like the guy who played Slapjack could be let go.
Yeah.
The three that I'm seeing right now, looking at the current roster.
What did you think about Jackson Riker being booked as a fucking babyface over
That
Elias
was
too?
weird.
That's odd. They're gonna cheer him after all that shit.
It's a joke.
It's
Whatever they see in him is incorrect.
They made him cut his hair. He looks like the guy off American Pie.
He's probably a rapist. Like he needs to go. He honestly needs to fucking go. So he is number 1 on every list because he's a douche. And then I'd honestly get rid of Otis. I know he's getting pushed right now, but
they're about to fight the Street Profits.
He's not. It's time to let it go.
It's just not enough, though.
Nope.
I could see them getting rid of one of the Lucha House Party because they got rid of the other ones.
I would agree with that. Get rid of him as well.
I mean, look at fuck's guy said Riddick Moss. Go down to the R's. When's the last time you've seen Riddick Moss? Is he even on this list?
There he is.
He's right there.
Like, when's the last time he's been on? He was on Raw Underground.
Get rid of him. I agree with that.
Like,
he's not being.
And then, like, you talk about NXT call-ups. We're looking at this thing Chuck has pulled up. You got Reg Holland, who is getting the push of his life till he completely broke his leg. He'll be back soon. Yeah. So NXT's got talent to keep flooding in. Along with that Parker or Border Rocks guy who looks like an absolute freak on Twitter. And when he debuts, he's gonna beat people's asses.
I'm gonna piss you off with this one, but dude, I think it's time to get rid of T-Bar. I think it is. T-Bar and Mace aren't doing anything. It's time to
They just had their best showing on Raw.
If they don't keep that,
I know who you cut.
I don't see it.
Vince.
Yeah, it's time to hit him to go too.
He has a point. He has a point with the T-Bar.
We'll end with this because we were talking about this a lot last week. The sell. So what I've done a lot of. So if Vince. Research meeting, I've listened to a bunch of people's theories, and I get one common theme from it. If Vince were to sell, most likely Vince would step away from the company. He's selling it. But they would set up an agreement to where Triple H, Stephanie, and or Shane would have creative. It's not like
they have contracts.
It's not like Gold Star Chili. They're just like, Chuck, here, this is yours.
No, sure.
And you're like, what the fuck? I don't know how to run a restaurant.
Conditions.
They're going to keep the. Right. It's not going to be like, oh, let's just use an example. Tony Khan's like, yeah, let me change. I love fucking Nikki Cross should be the world champion. You're just going to see everything flip on its head. That's not how wrestling works. If it does, you never see them. Hold on. I
was just reading Archie's.
They're going to get rid of Bray. If they get rid of Bray, would that mean two for him because the female would also be gone? And by association, Alexa Bliss, who's probably going to get Archie, just because you do the buzz and not Archie Spagnolo and your Italian
she could get pregnant down the only
too fast, too furious. Bray's not getting fired.
No, people love Bray.
No, he's not.
But to be fair, Braun Strowman was weekly TV, and then he was let go.
Well, Braun Strowman peaked in 2016.
I don't see the.
But anyway,
I agree with that. But still, he was still weekly TV.
He also wants like 600. An indie show.
It's so funny, right? Dude, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt all of this, but there's there are some WWE marks who are just fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And he was this guy on Facebook. He was like, yo, Bray Wyatt, he's not going to quit, and he's going to just retire and be happy with his savings. But he's way too young to retire. And then he posted a meme or a quote from Braun Strowman from 2020 when he was like, I will never work anywhere else but WWE. Remember, Jericho said the same thing. And so I had to remind this fool. Like, he said that when he was employed with WWE, I would interpret that as I would never quit WWE, which he never did. Braun Strowman is too young to retire. He will work elsewhere as a wrestler after 90 days, and we will definitely see him back in WWE within the next 2 to 3 years. Anyway, go ahead.
Fans like that should not watch wrestling or make even opinion.
He's going to retire. He's like fucking 35. He's not retiring.
And the Alexa thing could be true down the road, too.
But anyway, she's going to get pregnant. Hopefully by May.
One day.
Triple H and Stephanie would most likely be the two, along with Shane to some degree, left with say-so for about, they'd say probably 10-year contracts to where they're linked, and then they can negotiate that later. I feel like the people said they feel like Stephanie, Triple H, and Shane will always be part of it going forward.
Triple H for sure.
Vince is just ready to cash in on his life's work and enjoy the rest of his life and not live.
I just don't think that's true, man. He's 75.
What else does he have to accomplish? He has to do billion-dollar contracts in 1 year.
It's not about accomplishments. It's about doing it. Like, I'm telling you, man.
Like, he wants to sit back. He has like all these grandkids.
He's like Donald Trump, man. It's not about.
He's going to run for president?
I mean, he's not going to run for president, but
that'd be dope.
It's the same mindset where
think he would
you have to keep going.
Could you imagine Vince booking Raw from the White House?
I would vote for Vince.
I would.
But I'm saying he's a psychopath in the way that he can't just sit and relax. And because of that fact, I don't think he's going to retire.
TJ liked my tweet on Twitter.
What the fuck?
What'd you tweet?
About my segment.
Nice.
About the women stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. He's a good guy.
And by that, we'll end this on a positive.
Just say
it's the RSH 100th episode.
It is.
So last week, Aleister Black was released, and there is a ton of momentum that he might be coming back.
Yeah, get him back.
And as odd as it would be for him to just randomly attack Big E again,
do it
on SmackDown. You might see Big E come out because he hasn't been back on. You might see Aleister kick him in the face. There's a lot of momentum.
It kind of
push to get him back.
It kind of reminds me when
Daniel Bryan.
Not Daniel Bryan, but like
he got fired.
Well, sure, but last year when that one dude got fired,
Drake Maverick.
It reminds me of Drake Maverick.
See, what's funny is it's almost so Drake Maverick was already booked for that cruiserweight tournament, right? And he got let go, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Like I honestly, think WWE was like, "Oh shit, he is in that tournament," and they forgot.
I could see that,
even though it's Triple H.
I can believe that.
He could overlook. Damn. But it worked. He lost the cruiserweight title to what's funny. Back then, it was like Legado del Fantasma as a person, and he had a mask on, but then the mask got taken off, and he ended up being Santos Escobar after that. So Drake Maverick ended up losing to him, which is funny because Escobar's a huge star in NXT now. But it would be similar. Aleister comes back. Reports are his wife still plans to return to the company. She's filmed some stuff with the Rock's daughter down at the PC. She's been in and out of the PC.
Awesome.
So Aleister might be back sooner than everybody thinks. So you can ignore maybe those Tommy Lee or Tommy, whatever his indie name was, to AEW memes could stay away for a bit.
I hope so. I did see that today as well. I was like, oh, people are giving like people within the company were like, that was a mistake. And he's the one guy out of that whole list that still has potential. You know, Braun Strowman, he's kind of maxed out. He was the Big Show, the current day Big Show. But Black has something to give and something to gain. And I do think we're going to see him and Strowman back in WWE. Black, though, sooner probably than
Strowman's just going to
come back. And what him and his wife will do together, I'm very curious to see what they'll do together.
He has to come back at it. And one of the things that separates Aleister from the other guys that get released is he's said nothing but great things about Vince and creative. He's like, don't blame them. Like there was times they were going to push me, but then the pandemic hit and Vince was like, I don't want you doing this without fans. And then it's like, you do get lost in the shuffle. It's like there's certain things you don't want to do without fans. And that's why we've got a lot of repetitive TV. Has anybody else noticed that Raw every week is like rematches from the previous 5 weeks?
Raw's already changed.
But like they don't. Next week, I am going to create this fucking list of things we're waiting for live fans on because I can guarantee you that this is going to be a hell of a summer of wrestling.
It will be.
With AEW gaining steam.
The last half.
With live fans back. With the star power in WWE coming back. NWA, don't care about it, but I do respect the fact that it's picking up. Impact's picking up. They just picked up a couple of WWE guys. Slammiversary with Samoa Joe. I'm sure he'll be there.
Sure.
All these people getting cut will find homes.
Oh, for sure.
And then
that's one thing. Like people are, people lose. They're not going to lose fucking money. They're going to be fine.
Scale 1 to 10. How much do you care Andrade is in AEW? 1 to 10.
I should say 0.
That's a 1 to 10.
I mean, I think it's good for if you're an AEW fan, I would say like 4. I was never an on. How do you say his name? Andrade. I was never I was never a fan of his.
I was at one point.
I was never a fan of his, but people like him, so that's cool. He's very good, so that's
Jim
cool.
Ross called him the future face of AEW.
Sure. So I think it's good for AEW fans.
I give it a 1, but that could change.
I agree with the great Jim Cornette. He'll be lost in the shuffle in 6 months, just like all the other bona fide stars in AEW.
I hope that's not true.
Like Sean Spears.
What I hope for AEW.
How long until he loses to Cody?
I want AEW, when they get fans back, to stop the bullshit we've been doing and just to do it. Andre,
they got fans back.
Well, that's a good point. But Andre is good. They have a lot of good talent. Stop the nonsense and just do it.
And stop putting your show. I don't even care because I don't watch. Quit putting your shows on Friday nights.
And they got to stop doing the
442 I know the NBA is moving you, but Rampage with Mark Henry.
We got to get out of
Could be a good show.
We got to get out of
Put that on NXT's Tuesday, Dynamite's Wednesday.
Thursdays.
Impact, and they're working together. So I guess Friday would be their only fucking option, wouldn't it?
Sundays.
Put it on before
Saturdays.
SmackDown.
Listen. Listen, Phil. Phil says, Ben,
Remember the
check
last
out.
time he told you to watch a match? He was here for an hour watching Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee. Hey, Keith Lee's a guy that we might see when fans come back.
That's fair.
Mia Yim, too.
So for you audio
Yeah,
listeners,
too.
Philip says, Ben, check out Andrade versus Aleister Black from
fuck is
TakeOver.
that?
Great match from both guys. And added bonus was that Black's wife was managing Andrade
remember that.
for. Yeah, she's fucking smoking hot. Listen, Phil, I don't look in the past. I look to the future. So right now,
What are you pointing?
Black unemployed. And Andrade is on AEW.
I got something.
And first off, we don't know who Ben is. So
I find-
Yeah, first of all, there's no Ben
who
here.
the heck is that?
I have something in common with Alistair.
Yeah.
We're unemployed.
Unemployed.
We're gonna work with Andrade.
And I did black mask that Wasp earlier. So,
Yeah, you did. You put him down.
It's on the
We
show.
haven't
We
seen-
can see it.
Where's he at?
Aw.
Oh, is he on the floor?
Oh, you can.
Poor guy. I
It's
got
like that rock they ripped out of my hand. You done.
I gotta put him under the rug. But yeah, so it's one of them things with Andrade. I would say I said earlier I never got into him. I love Black. I'm sure that's a great match, Phil. But he'll be really good in AEW if they do their shit correctly.
If they use him right. Yeah.
I know they're doing what's his fuck pretty good, right? He's doing pretty good over
Miro,
there.
he's
TNT
the
title.
TNT
Yeah,
champion.
he came into his own. He got rid of that video game bullshit and became.
That's what I'm saying. It just takes AW a little while.
He attacked Skip Sabian backstage. He did. I think they're down with
don't
that.
just
So
chuck
They're,
off.
That's
done.
good. I honestly don't like Omega. So as long as Omega and the Young Bucks are running wild, I'm not going to give a shit. And I mean that. I stopped watching TNA because Hulk Hogan
Remember
showed
when
up.
Benison the other day said the Young Bucks changed wrestling, tag team wrestling, and
Oh,
we just
boy.
unleashed on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Like,
you guys
I
did
mean,
that.
I mean, I don't know if.
Benison, what takes like that? That's why Armchair Wrestling is a yearly podcast.
Yeah, I don't understand that. He'll be really good if the CEOs
fair.
ever drop their
Fair.
titles.
Fair.
That's right, Phil.
Because the only
fair.
one that doesn't have one is Cody. But he has a reality show and shit. That's my friend Joe. He said he'd comment.
What's up, Joe?
Joe remembers when I worked at Pioneer. He worked there with me when I used
Nice.
to always talk about like one day I'm going to do a podcast. And now he
Yeah.
messaged me yesterday like, damn, 100. You did.
You
do
did it.
So
Hey, you did.
it's my
We did.
286 total, but at 100th here.
You know your numbers? I don't know.
I keep
But
track.
you're
of
not-
my numbers.
I don't know my numbers.
It's much easier to add now because now it's just one a week. Remember,
Fair
I used
enough.
to pull 4 or
You
5.
did.
Yeah, that's fair.
But-
That's fair.
So nothing special about episode 100. Come on, nobody going to a table, no chair shot, no alcoholic shot as a team.
Josh Kona Wasp is the.
I did do 2 shots of whiskey.
So I'm not like your
Does that count or
hero,
something?
Justin Bieber. I don't go drink and drive and get arrested.
Archie Josh did
Um,
kill a wasp. That was
I did kill a wasp.
on air.
That happened.
I
You,
did.
you got a crotch shot, which you need to zoom out for. And
I blur that out.
yeah,
Not much required. Just a little bit of.
Put Josh to the table.
but yeah, 100
Yeah.
episodes, and
I think that's pretty cool. So, like
Fine.
we said already, this is the 100th episode of RSH, which means that RSH is the
Probably
longest
got to beat that on
reigning
there, don't you?
weekly
Ew.
episodic wrestling podcast and overall podcast, any genre, right here on the buzz.
You don't
Whether
even wear-
whether you're a fan who works, whether you sit on your armchair all day, whether you murder people and you're a shit show, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you can throw pucks into a net. You can kick a ball through some fucking ground. But RSH is still your only constant wrestling podcast over every other
What the heck are you
podcast.
doing?
So
out from improvement.
I like it.
He goes.
I dig that. So today marks 100. A year from now will mark 152. And 40, well, that's not math. 50 weeks after that will be 200 episodes.
Wow.
Because RSH, just like WWE, just like hopefully AEW, and just like TNA/Impact has been, you cannot stop regularly scheduled hostilities. You will not stop regularly scheduled hostilities, and you will continue to fear regularly scheduled